$146,000, $60,000 during the year, and they were only incorporated 13 years ago. So that's an amazing growth of environment plans for essential goals. And that's where I was in the second block a couple of years. So that's great.
Yeah.
$146,000. I'm not divorced with this Sechelt. I'd like to bring it up here today because we want to talk about something that's really important to this council and I think to the community over the last year. We heard really clearly during that thing last October, November, the following election. The community participation is really important. And we need to be revitalized in some way. And I was really pleased that the council got together as a new council and started doing their strategic plan. Community engagement and participation came in as one of the number one things they wanted to work on over the next 3.5 years. And the most important part of engagement, of course, in democracy is to ask other people who want to engage, how best to consult, how best to engage, what works best for you. Because we know that community engagement in contemporary world is no longer a one-way street. It's not about me talking to you, it's about us having a discussion and conversation and a commitment to actually act and move forward on what we hear. Not a death here or we won't die. And we don't want to live in a world where not as good as we want to line horses, so let's do it. So with that, welcome. That's what this evening is about. I'm going to turn it over to Connie, who will show us the agenda and take us through the rest of the evening. We have a pretty exciting array of technology in the community, so thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're going to change it up a little bit from what we did this afternoon, just because we've got some timing issues here. We're going to start off with what we call the public engagement primer. And we have with us tonight, we're very fortunate to have Kent Waugh, who's a professional researcher and market strategist for more than 30 years, who served clients from numerous sectors, the local government, nonprofit organizations, and private industry. He's currently under contract with the City of Surrey as a community engagement specialist. But 18 years ago, Kent had the first contract for the Sechelt Citizen Engagement Survey, or the Sechelt Citizen Satisfaction Survey. The very first one that we did back in 1997-98. So he's familiar with the community. He was happy to come back, and now he has close to 20 more years experience where he's gone into the area of public engagement and developed some great skills, and has been happy to come back and share some of that with us. So we're going to start off with Ken giving us the primer. I'm going to come back and talk about why this is important to Sechelt. We've got Beverly here to talk to us about some of the new tools that we have in public engagement on our website. And then we're going to give you guys a chance to talk to us about how you want to connect with us, what's important to you, and ways we can make engagement happen in Sechelt. So Kent.
That's great. Thanks, Connie. And thank you for inviting me today. I know the first few conversations that I had with Connie, she and I had met way back when she first started at the district, and I had kind of given her a little bit of an update on some of the things that I was doing. The last couple of years, I've been working with the City of Surrey, really building a public engagement program for them. There's a lot of different facets to it: online community panel, e-communications, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, Surrey is a big community, and all the issues that they have there. Luckily, you don't have most of some of their issues. But I was also talking to Mayor Milne earlier, and he was talking about giving me background on when the council started looking at public engagement. I had mentioned to him at that time, and I'll mention to you now, is that there's municipalities all over BC, and in fact all over Canada, where this is a real big issue. And it's an issue because there's, at this point in time, there's a divide between generations there's a divide because of technology. There's so many different ways of engaging the community, getting feedback, having that dialogue back and forth. And most municipalities are under-resourced today and needing to try to figure out how they can take what was working, make it even better, and what's not working now and actually make it work for them. So what I'm going to do is just one slide. I'll spend 10 minutes going through this with you and give you a bit of a background on what community engagement or public engagement tools look like. And did we have a battery flip upside down? Because I know that we, was it off?
Oh, just turn it on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Technology on off button. Who knew? It's on all the time. So public engagement process. I'll start with kind of 4 quarters or quadrants of public engagement. You'll get a sense of why I'm laying it out this way. Most municipalities today have websites. Of course, they have fact sheets. A lot of them have citizen advisory groups. Depending upon what type of issues at hand, they'll bring citizens in, they can part of a group that explores an issue and actually provides input on the final decision. And then a lot of times, municipalities are now engaging in what they refer to as moderated forums. And to some degree, these ladies tonight in the district being able to broadcast this on YouTube and have people through Facebook and Twitter and the city website actually ask questions and participate in the discussion is essentially a moderated forum. So there's lots of different ways of engaging people today. A few others, and this is where the challenge for most municipalities lie, is that there's more and more ways of engaging a public today. And now if you look at this and go, oh, okay, that's a lot, and I'm not going to go through and define each one of those with you. But I know some municipalities that use all of these things. And I know some that use all of these and even more. And what they've built are, I think, cumbersome, taxing, money-wise, budget-wise programs. The best thing to do, and this is where I give credit to the district Sechelt, is by looking at this and saying, okay, if you think about it as a jigsaw puzzle, here's a whole bunch of pieces. What do we want our puzzle to look like? What do we want that picture to look like? Which is, how do we want to have public engagement work in the district of Sechelt? Who are we? How do we want to communicate with one another? How do we want to ultimately make decisions for the future of the community? I would not recommend that you select all of these pieces of the puzzle. I would recommend that you go through and assess each one and determine whether that's a good fit in your final puzzle or not, and then build it from there. So, and that's what we're going to be doing is finally get into the second part of the intro in terms of some breakout sessions and discussions around techniques. So, website, text message, podcasting, paid ads, and so on. Those really go from being face-to-face. So if you look at all of the things down here, open houses, workshops, citizen advisory, groups, referendum, a lot of those are where you have to come out and have a face-to-face. Fact sheets, most cases don't come to your doorstep or in your mailbox. They're available at City Hall and other areas with the municipality. Then on top of this new part of public engagement is websites and blogs and all the social media, whether you love it, hate it. I think most are either on one side of the fence or the other side of the fence. Discussion boards and even moderated forums, as I was mentioning, with being able to see this live on YouTube while you're watching a hockey game. Maybe I should have mentioned the hockey game, some people might be. And at the bottom, when we look at this is just all information. As I think Mayor Bill pointed out, it's more than just sending out information and telling you what the district is doing, but it's about getting your input. It's about engaging in a discussion back and forth. And ultimately, it's about having an ongoing, meaningful dialogue about what the residents want district can make that happen in the community because there's checks and balances there. So one more thing I'll add here is these things are really the things that are least convenient to most of us. So cutting out to an open house or a workshop or a town hall is far less convenient for you than maybe some of the people sitting at home right now watching it on YouTube. Really depending upon what your life is like, your lifestyle, how mobile you are, whether you have little kids or grandkids running around. So it's all of that. Least convenient, the most convenient. We look at all of those things, and from the lowest level of commitment, which is just reading newspapers or reading the website, all the way up to the highest level of commitment when you're actually participating in ongoing dialogue. The trick is, and this evening and after this afternoon session is one of the first steps in building this type of program. The trick is getting the community engaged in a single conversation, a beginning point, to say, this is what all the things we can do. What is it that you want us to do? What pieces of the puzzle do you want us to pull together to make this public engagement picture? One example, and I know of a municipality that has basically put their website, text message, blogs, online surveys, town halls, put them together, and that's what they call their program. There's no right or wrong answer. There's no easy way of doing it. It's a challenge, and I give kudos to the district for taking this on because it's something that I think every municipality needs to manage. And sometimes municipalities will sit in a room by themselves and say, okay, this is what we have to do, and go ahead and do it. Sechelt is different. They've always been different in their approach to the community, and it's a matter of asking the question and getting the input. So in the end, could be 6 months from now, a year from now. I know the mayor mentioned this afternoon that this is going to be an ongoing process, and I would say, yeah, you're right. It has to be an ongoing process. It can never stop. You have to always, based on who's in the community and how they want to be engaged, and what the issues are, continue to evolve this ongoing dialogue between the district and the community. So I'll just leave that up there for thought, and Connie can come back up and fill in any of the gaps, and then let you know what the rest of the session is going to be about.
Well, I really want to thank you for coming over to Sechelt, Kent. He does have a ferry to catch, so this is why we switched up the presentation this evening. We've enjoyed hearing from you. It's been great to get some guidance from someone who's already done this to show us here's what it could look like, here's the starting point, and we'll see where we go in the future. You never know, you may get another call, and we may be talking more. We'll see where our community wants to go. Thank you very much.
And anytime, especially for Sechelt, anytime, any way I can help you, by all means, just give me a call. And if I have a reason to come over, even according to ferry prices, whatever they are, if I can come over, I'll spend a day over here anytime. So thank you very much. Good luck with the rest of the session. I know this afternoon was very fruitful, and you'll probably get a pretty good understanding of everything from it. So. Next time, thank you.
Please tell me who you are.
I am Connie Joyson. I'm the communications manager for the district of Sechelt. I've been with the district since 1997. I started originally as a council secretary and community relations officer eventually, and moved into communications about 5 years ago. And that's it. And I want to welcome everyone here today to talk about our first steps in building public engagement for the district of Sechelt and for our residents. Public engagement is really how an organization connects with the public. And it can't be a one-way street anymore. Many years ago, ladies, I was in college, and in the area where I was training, they were training people for public relations. And at that point, it was very much a one-way conversation. It was training public relations to take a company's message and send it out to the public. There wasn't a lot of interaction back. Move forward to the 90s, and the new word is engagement. It's about a two-way conversation. It's about a connection between an organization and the public it works with and the public it serves. Engagement takes two willing parties. Here's what a lot of us might think of as what comes to mind when you talk about engagement. When I sent my presentation to the mayor to give him a quick briefing, he'd been away for a week, about this session, he said he really liked this slide. I'm not sure if it's because he's a real fan of the institution of marriage, but what he said he liked about it is that it indicates that engagement is, they start with a conversation, but it's really more than that. It's about a commitment to move forward, to send information out, receive information back, come to some agreements, some understandings, make a commitment about where this is going, and follow through. These two people look like they're making a commitment, and that demonstrates a little bit of what engagement really is. Why is it important to Sechelt? First off, because council has told us it is, because you told the people that ran for council that it was. They're following what they heard through the election campaign as a concern about the need for a better connection between the residents and the district. It's also because local government delivers services to and on behalf of the residents. We're out there spending your money on services we believe you want. We need to connect with you to make sure that those truly are the services you want, that we're delivered in the way that you want, and that we're developing the new services that you think you may want. At least give you the opportunity to look at that. And we're not doing things that you don't want us to. So it's important. We can't do that in isolation. We need community connection, community feedback to do that effectively. And it's also because we are a community. Local government and residents, we work together to make this the community that we want it to be. And that takes strong engagement between the two parties. I'd say we start with communication when we're talking about engagement. And the district tries to communicate with residents in ways that we believe work. We do a opinion survey every year except for election years. Last year that we did one was in 2013. And in 2013, over half of the residents surveyed said that the district was doing too little in the way of communications. They thought they were receiving too little information. And that was an increase over the number that had responded that way in the previous survey in 2012. What this says to me is that citizens want to engage. Citizens want information. They're concerned when they don't get enough or don't get the right information. So I think we've got a group of residents. I think we've got a community of residents that want to be engaged. We've got a council that wants to engage. Got the two parties. I think we have a good starting point. But what we need to move from the starting point is to have our residents let us know how you'd like to receive messages and how you'd like to communicate back to the district. If we don't know that, we can't get the information out to you. And if we don't get information back from you, we can't respond. So that's why we brought people together. That's why we brought Kent over to show you some of the tools that other municipalities are using. And that's why we want to start a conversation about engagement and how we can put together an engagement strategy that will work for Sechelt. Oops.
Other way.
There we go. I'm going to have Beverly come up and talk about some of the new things that we have put onto our website that hopefully will help with engagement. And once Beverly's reviewed some of those, we're going to give everyone an opportunity to come talk with staff members and council members. We're going to be at a discussion table talking about different forms of engagement that we currently use and where there might be opportunities to build more engagement. We're going to talk about issues, about opportunities that we have to communicate and engage face-to-face. District already does a lot of that. You can book a meeting with someone in the district. You can come out to a council meeting. You can exchange information that way with the district right now. And you may have other ideas about how we want to do that. We'll be talking about the digital tools that Beverly is going to review with us. But I know that many people in our community are very technologically savvy, very digitally savvy. They see what other communities are doing. And they may have great suggestions for us as to what they'd like to see Sechelt doing. Can I answer your question?
No, it's an observation. Sechelt is a very diverse community. When I look at the people who are here tonight, I don't think anybody here has a problem finding out information, because I think the group here tonight is already engaging politically. A number of years ago, I canvassed for the election when Darren was mayor here. I went up Loud Road, Tyson Road, Russell Creek, and I knocked on doors, lots of doors. What I got were young women, and they said, most of them said, I don't vote. I don't know what the issues are. My hubby tells me what to do, as a hubby should, right? And then we miss them all the time. So you could have lots of these things and online and offline, and you can stand in the middle of the road. But I think you have to sit and look at who you're trying to reach and how you're going to do it. The other thing I've noticed living here is being going on the Sunshine Coast Community Facebook page, which I think is an absolute way, fabulous way of engaging, and people do engage, is that the spelling is atrocious. It's atrocious, but people are engaging. And so I say, if you're going to do this, find out who the people are and find out the best way to reach them. You're talking to the converted here.
No, not quite.
The almost converted.
When you talk about all this high-tech stuff, there are a lot of people who don't have technology. I don't, because for a number of reasons. One is it's really expensive. But we do have a community channel for a lot of things. You could have the council meetings could be on the community. I don't know, it shouldn't cost too much. I mentioned it before, and it's kind of like, oh, yeah, just give them what it is, so, you know. But I'm for it, and I know a number of people who aren't wired in. And even just to watch the community, the council meetings, or the, what is it, you're on the development and all that jazz, you know, those things. If you could just watch them on the community meeting, it would make a big, on the community channel. Just even those. But I mean, Calvin Reagan, he's got his little thing on there, so maybe we should catch up with the SLB.
That's one of the most popular shows on Cable 11 now, and their website is
There are all kinds of other communities have that you see on the TV guide, such and such community channel, and there's, oh, I mean, just 3 things that we could watch on that.
These are all great ideas. I do want to quickly go through the prior, or the new engagement modes that we have available, and then we're going to go to the discussion tables. We want all of your ideas.
Up on there for us to look at Luddites.
Right, we have face-to-face engagement is the first table we set up, because what I have found over the past 5 years working in communications, we did a quick stakeholder engagement just over a week ago, to start on work on the configuration project. Everyone that attended that meeting basically received their notes by hand. We walked up and down, we mailed out as many as we could for property owners that we had addresses for.
It's nice, but it's not that long.
Yeah, but that is how, that's still a great way to engage in this community. Gonna let Beverly quickly go through some tools, and we really want your input, we want your ideas. You're in the community, obviously, Sandra has connected with the community on a level, and she sees a need. I know, Pam, you see a need for face-to-face, the non-tech, the non-digital.
Because there's nothing wrong with being looked at.
Well, it's still got some tech. But this is the kind of input we're looking for tonight, and as we move forward. This is not a one-shot deal here. This is just the start of development of the engagement strategy. We wanted to start small, start with the town hall meeting, where we actually just talked about how we want to do this. Before we move forward with any proposals or any spend X number of dollars on doing this, and here's the new technical thing we're going to do. Maybe that's not what we get. But I'm going to let Beverly talk about some of these things, because right now we are streaming on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We have been getting tweets in from people that are watching this elsewhere and have been connected. So it is reaching some people that way. Not as many as in this room, but still some.
So my name is Beverly Albeck. I work the information communications and technology for the district of Sechelt, and that involves computers, telephones, all different types of technology and ways that we communicate. Our most leading edge, we have this turned off again now. Our latest in advance, or I call it experiment tonight, is the first time we're doing streaming of a meeting. We're streaming it through YouTube through an incredibly small bandwidth connection, and just doing a proof of concept test to see how the quality comes out. We're not streaming video of what you guys are doing, we're streaming the presentation and audio of the evening. A little bit of video we'll stream at the end when we review the feedback from the roundtables. This is something that's being done in a few other communities that allows people from home that are home with children or home and unable to get out of the house because of health reasons and stuff to watch the information from a meeting and send questions in and have their input provided in during the meeting, so that when they have a suggestion or a comment, it gets as part of the roundtable discussions and included in the documentation. You can send the questions in through a web form on our website, and you can do that before the meeting or during the meeting. You can do it with a Twitter tweet using a particular hashtag, CShopTH, or you can post a comment on the Facebook event page. So those are the different ways. And there's some other things we're exploring, such as being able to phone in and provide your feedback and have an operator type in that feedback. We're exploring perhaps options of being able to text in feedback. If this is something the community wants, streaming of meetings and this kind of engagement, then to be able to do it consistently and reliably, we need to look at upgrading our technology and some of our equipment, and that's part of the information gathering we're trying to do, is find out if it's desired and which direction we should go with it. Go old-fashioned here. Another recent development is our new my.cshop.ca website. It is citizen self-service portal right now, it now has property tax and homeowner grant information. If you register, you can associate your property tax account with information from your property tax notice on there. You can see the status of your account, the amount owing. And then next year, when we do our property tax notices, you can have your tax notice emailed to you, or you can be able to see it online. Even this year, some people that are out of town, if they register online, they can let us know, and we can reprint their tax notice, they can see it online, which we've already had a number of agrees for that. So registration has been quite brisk for the site, and we've got 2 computers in the back, and we're here to help you if anyone is interested in registering or exploring that functionality. We're going to be adding some additional functionality to it, such as renewing dog licenses, renewing business licenses, invoicing, and there's other features we can add. We need to figure out if people like it and what services they're looking for. Our website's been around for about 4 years now, and there's some functionality on there that I'd like to share with you so that you're aware of it. Under the Contact Us section of the website, we've got a feedback form, and that sends an email to our communications manager who responds to all of those. We have periodic surveys on there with information from the community, and you can always just email info@sechelt.ca. There's some subscription services, so you could subscribe to RSS feeds or download what's called an calendar, and I'll demonstrate that briefly in a minute. So you can have a Sechelt events calendar on your phone or on your computer or on your iPad just by clicking it and downloading it. And you can browse through the site. We have quite a robust document library, and then we've got a search feature that searches the documents as well as the content on the site. This is kind of that's where we're putting most of our information is on our website, and we want to let people know that it's a good place to go first when they're looking for answers to things. So we have 3 different forms of news feeds on our site. This is the address to go to, but it's under the City Hall tab on our website. You would have to subscribe to news feeds, and it explains what a news feed is and how you can subscribe to it and what it does for you. There's the calendar. So if we post something new to the calendar, you can get notified that something new's been added on. All of our news and announcements are there, so a lot of the media is already subscribed to that, so they know right away when you post things. And the document library, so when we upload a new document to the library, you get notified for those new documents. Now, I know some people aren't there with the technology or interested in that, but it's good to get the word out. We'd like people to know that some of the functionality is available. Our document library is updated all the time, so all of our forms, agendas, minutes, public notices, news releases are all available. You can browse through the document library and find everything going back for many, many years. There's a search bar at the top of every page on the website, and if you type something into that search bar, it searches the whole website and the contents of every document on the website. So if there's a topic you're interested in, that's the fastest way to get information on that. If you don't get the results you want, the results page at the very top of it has a link where you can click and get tips on how to search and how to improve your search results. And then we have a website map that's also on that same tips page, and it's under the City Hall tab, but you can look at the map of every different page that is on the website. You just want to look right away, you don't want to look at the planning, and it shows you exactly where that is. Okay. And we're improving our social media presence. There's a large demographic that does heavily use social media, and it's a demographic that does have stuff to say, but we need to make it very easy for them to be able to participate and share their input. And we're working on improving that and trying to find out in our community what areas of social media are being used. Some communities are using more Twitter, others more Facebook. LinkedIn is a lot of professionals don't use Facebook, but they prefer to use LinkedIn. And then there's YouTube. You can watch the meeting streaming live. You can later on watch it. And our hopes is, as many communities are doing it, to have our minutes integrated with video. So if we get the live streaming going, then you would be able to look at the meeting afterwards and see the minutes from the meeting and click on part of the minutes and see the video from that part of the minutes from that action. Those those are some of the places we're going and some of the things we've done. And we're gonna leave this up when we have the round tables. This will be, people that are watching on YouTube will see this and they'll know how they can send in questions or feedback during the questions. This afternoon, we had a number of tweets and web comments that came in during our roundtable sessions. I'm really interested in knowing what technology you use, if you do use it, and how you want to engage with us and what we can do or the direction we can go.
Thanks a lot, Beverly. Before we go to the table discussions, I want to bring up our Chief Administrative Officer, Bill Beamish. He has been doing a lot of face-to-face work, a lot of direct contact with a small situation that we're dealing with, and he's found that this has been the best approach to use there. I'm just going to have him give you a quick summary of what is possible on the low-tech engagement area on very difficult decisions. So, yeah.
My name is Bill Beamish. I'm a low-tech guy who carries 2 cell phones. I use them on phones and email. I'm just sitting here thinking when we're talking, it's June 2015. By the end of this month, we'll have had approximately 36 public meetings in this Sechelt. And that includes council meetings, it includes special meetings we have with the community. Right now, I think we're all aware of an issue with the Sea-Watch subdivision. We've had 6 meetings with that group there at the town office. When we come in, we talk about that issue. We communicate with them beyond that by email and send reports out. We found that to be very effective in that particular group. We had a meeting with the several people to their concerns about the impacts of the wastewater treatment plant on the small community. Again, a face-to-face meeting, inviting people to sit down and talk about their concerns and issues and listening to those concerns. Face-to-face is still, I think, the most predominant way that we communicate with one another. It's an important way to communicate with one another. That's not always work. We're not always good at it, but we continue to try to be better. A lot of times it's just volume. I mean, everybody now has email access, tweets, Facebook, my wife's on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. How many invitations I get a week to join LinkedIn? But other people's computers send me notes asking me to join something. And there's technology out there, and I'm sure it's all great, but I don't have that much more time. So I won't learn it all, and I'm happy with it. But face-to-face is very important, and we continue to strive to be better, we continue to strive to get our agendas online on time so that you can read them before the meetings, as a council can read them before the meetings, to minimize our errors in them, written communication important. When you do our presentation that we do have better use of technology now that we have screens we never used to have before. Smart screens, we have tremendous screens that we use in our offices. So a lot of value in that, and it still comes down to how we do with each other. It's something that I am being prosecuted as basic way of communications. We are trying to be more effective as well.
Have refreshments available, please help yourself. We're going to start the table discussions now. Staff member and council member at each table. Over face to face, we're going to have Bill Beamish, assisted by Councillor Lutz. At the center table, talking about digital and electronic, we're going to have our IT manager Beverly, assisted by Councillor Darrell Seegers. And in the catch-all position at the end, all different other ideas that people may have about how they want to get information to us and how they want to receive information from us. I'm going to be working there, and Councillor Mike Shanks is going to be helping me. We're going to do this for about 45 minutes to an hour, and hopefully at the end, we'll have some good ideas to share with everyone else, and the entire audience will then have an opportunity to vote on what their preferred means of sharing information and connecting with their local government is. So please grab some refreshments and grab a spot at the table, talk to staff and council. talk about the items that were brought forward. At the end, you're all going to get 2 special colored dots.
It's not my headset.
You're going to be able to vote the idea or concern that you raise that you think is most important, and one that you think is second most important. And that gives us just a little bit of idea from the feedback that we have of what's important to the entire group. So first, we're going to ask Councillor Ruth to talk to us about what was said at the face-to-face meeting table.
Well, okay. Felt that the total community needs to be informed of neighborhood issues. We're talking about the simple, where as things are resolved, we need to make sure the whole community understands how the decisions were made. Access to the mayor and council prior to committee or council meetings, and that could be if we all came in 20 minutes early and had a chance to do the visiting. It was also suggested that maybe Sechelt should host training for the community on how to use the district website.
We still have that.
Yeah. Did we? Oh, they took it from ours to yours. Also, in the face-to-face agenda items, questioned at the start of the meeting, with an allotted time for that, not just at the end after the decisions are made. They like the idea of questions at the end around things that weren't on the agenda. And again, the sound system needs to be improved. And I think everybody knows that is on the list to be done. We want to make the meetings of interest and respectful to the community, so they feel like they're being heard and listened to. And also respecting the use of in-camera meetings, the legal reasons for having them, and then releasing as quick as possible. Accountability sessions for the community with the mayor, council, and staff, maybe once a year or halfway through the term. People like that. And verbal face-to-face need to have some kind of a paper trail to document the discussions. Meeting management, not control of the issue, but the opportunity for everybody to be heard respectfully. And suggested that we have impartial facilitators meetings along specific issues. That was it for our group.
Great, thanks a lot. We're putting those up on the window there where people can read them and figure out which one might be their favorite as we move along. But before we go to putting thoughts on there, we're going to hear from Councillor Spears and what she heard at the digital and electronic engagement table.
I like the first one.
Don't do it by And then, we have people come and say they're interested in having the meetings broadcast on TV and on YouTube. And a few members of the public actually watch the sessions on YouTube because we got some tweets about that. So they watch separate sessions. One person said they had to leave early from the session today, early this afternoon, so they watch the rest of it online. All right, somebody else said, we're speaking to converted. So it needs to be easy and safe to be able to communicate with all of us. Maybe a monthly meet the council, informed by more information in paper with opportunities for online engagement for those who want to. We have more details on that. Yeah. So free Wi-Fi downtown, and there was talk about who's actually using that. There are a lot of people who don't have access to Wi-Fi, and so they're sitting with their phones downtown and communicating through Skype phones to people that stay on long distance. So it's actually available for those who don't have it otherwise. So here's something that came up. Having this Phyllis Alice about it, and thanks to that too. Library computer sessions to teach those who want to learn how to access the district info on
And then, one of the things that was talked about is the demographic we have here is an older demographic typically, right? And speaking of converted kind of thing, so how do we reach the others? So outreach, let's go to the food bank, find out sports games, and ask questions. Are you interested? And what stops them from taking part? And then what would it take to bring them forward? So ask them. So if they can give us that information, we can be fine. Otherwise, engage students in the school with live stream or taped meetings. Get involved with the ethics courses or governance courses, social studies, and have them come up with questions so they start taking interest. Youth want to engage, they don't know how or what to engage on. And then here's what came forward, and this and that was awesome. Something called For the Record. So it's like a shopping list of items from the meetings, just point form, this was covered in the meetings, put it in the paper online and on a news feed, and it would show up like this. So how many get the Coast Cultural Alliance weekly email with all the items? Same thing, regular, weekly, same day each week, same format each week. It's email format and paper format. It looks back on the council the previous week, and it looks forward for the week for things like parks and public works. So watch for your parks people this week doing the meeting around the Seaside Center, or whatever, that kind of stuff. And this is a comment, how this feels part of the community. And one of the comments that Beth made was, someone get a tree, there was a tree that fell down in Davis Bay, and it was actually used by the Parks Department to make benches and split rail fences around the community. So that's the kind of information that could actually be put out there. So I was wondering, I'll come up with that.
Great. Councillor Shanks, what other great ideas came forward?
Commandeer, Councillor Shanks. Top suggestion from great councillors.
Oh, no.
That was a great idea. No, seriously, this at some point in time throughout their tenure, beginning is perhaps a busy group. And that could be on the very simple question of availability, but getting that to be simple as that. So that, as I indicated, the person brought it up. And you can email all of council all at the same time. If you have a question or concern, and see if you get back to you. So, found that in terms of reading. Anyway, one of some of the other suggestions were talking with the mayor and the council on a monthly basis. Weekly column in the newspaper reporting for those who are council committee meetings on cable TV, town hall meetings, live streaming of meetings, reestablishing of the GA, and for those that don't know, we used to have aid associations representing the GA. And I think we're moving towards that, some sort of concept like that. We are having liaison meetings with the council with some of the associations right now. Let's see how that goes. And then training on the technology could be done, as was suggested, through the library, or we could actually have our own sessions where you bought your own iPads or computers and so forth. And the other one was how to access the new wireless.
You can put that up on the glass bars that are doors out there. Mary Ellen shared a table without a table.
I thought it would be useful to report on the executive. I did go and sit with people that didn't go to the tables and just sit there. And we talked about engagement, primarily about what happens after engagement. Slide that Connie had earlier about the engaged proposal issue, but it's not yet. So we primarily talk about service delivery and program evaluation and actually getting things done. But if you do communicate and engage with the community, and then 6 months later, like now, which is 3 months later, or 2 weeks, how do we make sure there's real genuine follow-up? And that's something that came out a little bit this afternoon too, in terms of some, we're pretty good with the first acknowledgement. Yes, we received your email. Sometimes we're pretty good at the next stage of saying, we received your email and it's forwarded to this department, and then there's a block and people don't know what to do then. Because what they're they wrote in, but it still hasn't been fixed. So that's something that we are working on. It's part of an overall organizational review and changing the culture of the organization. And most of the 40 minutes I spent, I was being a bit defensive about this. We're making these changes. We know about this stuff, but we can't, there's no magic wand. It's actually a fairly slow process to make sure it's substantive and real change. And I do know, I was in this position before, I spent 6 years democratizing the system, and I felt pretty good at the end of that 6 years about what we had done. And real substantive changes in our bylaws, and the way we conduct meetings, and the organization itself. And I was followed by a mayor in the election of 2002, said, we're going to stay the course, we don't want to change a thing that Bruce has been doing. And 12 months later, and pretty much taken things back to normal. In the sense of democracy and the institutionalized engagement that we have in place. And I can joke about it, but it's so difficult to keep engagement and participation going, and we have to do it. So I heard, I just want to say before I sit down, I heard also the guys talking about twice, we obviously want more access to council elected members in some form or another, and we'll have to think through how that can happen. There was a time over the last 5 years when Jason and I shared an occasional bottle of wine, red wine, over maybe twice a year, as we worked as friends. And we haven't been able to see each other since November. Just so you know. So if you want 20 minutes before council meetings or coffee once a month, I don't see Irene once a month. We're learning how to test. That's, so we will create more access. I heard that 2 or 4 times. They'll think really seriously about that face-to-face access that is clearly missing because we're so busy running outside. But what we're talking about is how do you engage, how does it connect, how do you follow through that?
With all these good ideas coming forward, we'd like the audience to help us rate these ideas. We're going to give each a red sticker and a blue sticker. The red sticker is for your first priority. Read the items that are out there, the thing that resonates most with you, give a red sticker. Blue sticker is the one that comes in second for you. I know there's a lot of ideas out there, people would like a lot of stickers, but we don't want to keep it here forever. So 2 stickers per person, and away we go. Hey, Pam?
I think that all of those things are important to all of us because we brought them up. I think little sticker things are kind of silly. They're all really important. They're all like number 10 out of 10 for everybody that brought them up. And to put stickers on for how important you thought this one was as opposed to that one is, I think
You
that's.
don't have to. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. It helps us look at where items have higher priorities. It gives us a little idea. It's not scientific. And if people don't want to do stickers, we don't have to do stickers. So if you want to, maybe people can have 2. Red is first, blue is second. So if you want to listen to your opinion, there's red.